Hey, Chet's Crew and other viewers. I know it's been a while, but I'm going to have a funny story for you today. And I'll be right back to tell you about it right after the intro. It's time for another episode of CHTV with your host, Chester Hallett. You could see funny food reviews. Watch him drink it all from the skull. Funny stories. Or whatever else comes to his crazy mind. So sit back and enjoy. Okay, I'm back. And like I said before the intro, I got a funny story for you today. This one goes back to right after my wife and I started dating. We weren't married yet. We were still just going out. And my best friend Ernie, he was going with the woman that he had his first child by at the time. And one of my cousins was there with his wife. And can't remember if he had one of their kids with him or not. But anyway, we were all up swimming at a local lake from down where I grew up, down towards Lockport area. It's called Canada Hill. So, and to get into the Canada Hill Lake, there's a long, winding dirt road. So anyway, we was in there and we spent the day swimming at the lake, and then on the way out, my cousin was driving in probably an old 90s Thunderbird at the time, and I was driving, I think it was probably the car, if you want to go back and check my old Journey of My Junkers videos there. I think it was either the Black Beauty, which was an old Ford Tempo, the first car I ever had, or the Chevy Celebrity. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but and my best friend, I can't remember what he was driving at the time. But anyway, on the way out, like I said, there's this long, windy dirt road, and it's got some sharp corners on it at times. And so my cousin and I and Ernie, we were all like, we weren't really racing, but we were driving fast. My cousin was in the front there, and we was all kind of showing off, and he was driving really fast. Like, we were going like 80 to 100 on this road that you should only probably be driving about 60 at the most, because if we'd have met somebody at different times, we'd have been in a lot of trouble. But anyway, like I say, we were bombing her out through there, and like I say, this has been years ago, so I can admit this, because I think the statute of limitations on stuff like that is long since gone by. But anyway, and I haven't drove like an idiot like that in years. But yeah, so we were coming out, and I was right on my cousin's back bumper, and we were driving really fast, and my best friend, he was keeping up with me. So anyway, when we got out to the end of the road, we got out to the main road. We slowed down and started paying attention to the rules of the road. So when we got out to the intersection where we was parting ways, my cousin went off towards his place, and I was going down to Ernie's to spend the evening. Me and Annette was going down to spend the evening with him and his girlfriend. So anyway, we got there, and I was in front. I was still in front of Ernie, so I got in, and he pulled up behind me, and we got out of the car, and before Ernie even said anything, he went over to the back of my car and leaned down, got down by the back wheels, and he said, "Yep, that's what I thought." He said, "You got the steel belts showing on the inside of your tires." And I said, "Oh," I said, "how'd you know that?" He said, "Because all I seen was sparks flying out from behind your tires when you was taking those corners right sharp." He said, "The gravel rocks was flying up," and he said, "I could see sparks." So anyway, so that was fine. So I had to go over to my garage that I always got my work done to. the next day there, I need to try to get some new tires there. So I went in, and another one of my cousins was working there with the guy at the time, and so when I pulled in, I asked my mechanic if he had any old tires there, because he had like a junkyard, and I always bought like old secondhand tires, or like whatever I could get my hands on, because I didn't want to waste money on buying new tires. So anyway, when I pulled the car into the garage there, my cousin, he went over and got the welder's gloves on, and the other mechanic, he said to him, he said, "Why are you getting welder's gloves on?" He said, "All we're doing is changing the tire." And my cousin said, "I'll guarantee you, if Chester's bringing this in to get the tires changed, that," he said, "that the back of it looks like a porcupine with a steel belt sticking out of it." He said, "Because he don't change his tires until they're completely gone." He said, "And if it's not flat," he said, "it's got a hip steel belt sticking out of it." So anyway, I guess he knew me pretty well, because he was working with my mechanic there for a while, and he knew what I was like. So anyway, and the reason why I wanted to share this funny story today and talk about old cars and stuff, my cousin there, he just recently started a YouTube channel. It's called Get Wrenching. And I'll put up a picture here of his channel page, and then I'll put a link down in the descriptions. And he calls it Get Wrenching, and with the host Murray, that's the name of my cousin. He does like he's fixing up an old Dodge car. I can't remember the name of the Dodge, Valera or something like that. I don't know. I'm not much of a car well, I do like old cars and stuff, but I'm not an expert on them or anything. And I've been watching his channel there, and geez, he's doing really good. Like he shows how to do different things, and he's showing fixing up that old car and stuff there, and he's doing really good job. And if anybody's into that kind of stuff and you want to go over and check him out, and if you like what you see, subscribe and like it, and share his videos and stuff. I'd be really appreciated. And but anyway, yeah. So hope you enjoyed the story. And like I say, go over if you like that kind of thing, like with automotive stuff, and go over and give Murray's channel a check. It's called Get Wrenching once again. And with that, I'll say, remember, if you can't laugh with me, laugh at me, but keep laughing. Have a nice day. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider dropping a like. And if you'd like to become a member of Chet's crew, it's very simple and it doesn't cost a cent. Just hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to help me grow the channel, please consider sharing the video on other forms of social media. It helps the channel out very much. Thank you, and have a nice day.